It's the most craziest club in the league.
I love me, baby, bust it open, bring it back. I'm the realest killer in it, I don't even need an act. Throwing up the racks, I'm just throwing up the racks, baby.
Yo, what's poppin', people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me. Of course, me, your host, Jan. I do hope you're doing well, mate. I do hope that. And Chelsea news, welcome back. Always Chelsea news, always me delivering said Chelsea news to you, or at least what's being said around global football news media about Chelsea, and of course, huge talking points at the moment. Apparently, the deal for Joao, Felix and Gallagher, Chelsea and Atletico Madrid could finally be put to rest and reach its completion. I think Chelsea are about to sign Joao Felix for a reasonable fee. We are going to talk about Osimhen as well. There is, well, in relation to PSG looking for a striker now. Gonzalo Ramos is injured. A little bit on Bashir Humphreys and also Joe Gomez? Question mark? Yeah, thank you for joining me as always. Lovely to have you here on the channel. I appreciate all my viewers very much. You are all, of course, welcome. So, show some of that sweet love by dropping a like. Drop a like. Just, yeah, like and subscribe, I suppose. Look, this is, firstly, let's just start off with Joe Gomez, right? This is coming, actually, you know what? No, let's start off with Bashir Humphreys, because Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that he's joining Burnley on a loan with a mandatory buy clause to become a permanent deal. So Bashir Humphreys essentially leaving Chelsea. This is legit. Top sources are saying this. Another one out the door. You know, we have a squad of 40,000 players, but, you know, just the last few days, Morera, Mason Burstow, Bashir Humphreys, they are dropping like flies. And I said this recently in a video, guys. I said, yeah, everyone's laughing at Chelsea. It's in vogue. You know, it's what you do. You laugh at Chelsea at the moment. What are they doing with their 400 million players in the squad? I was sort of consistent saying, you know what, we're the exact same problem last summer. And we sorted it out. We got rid of everyone we needed to get rid of, you know, literally. Even the really tricky ones. And we made a lot of money, like record sales. And got high-profile names out the door, which, you might think in some ways easy, but actually in many ways it's hard because someone has to absorb massive wages. Like, you know, Mount, Kovacic and Havertz, you know, all have massive wages, and we got good fees for all of them. Great fees. But, you know, they were like blockbuster sales, but amidst around them, we still got so many. If you look at the outs, there's so many. So I was kind of confident Chelsea would be able to achieve that again, and it does seem like we're doing that. And Bashir Humphreys, you know, expect in the coming days when I do these Chelsea news videos, you know, I tend to do 2 or 3 a day, so do keep it locked. You'll be hearing more and more exits. And that's a good thing, because even though Maresca's confirmed that he's only training with a manageable group, which is great, basically not the Graham Potter situation when he had 4 million players in a dressing room, it's still good to know that we're culling the squad appropriately. Let's just spend a couple of minutes on Joe Gomez. Chelsea have shown an interest in Joe Gomez, reports Paul Joyce of The Times. Cy Phillips Sport as well, of course, Chelsea writer, source, content creator, has explained how, yes, he's heard that as well, and has reiterated that from even like months ago. Why and no? And I guess, which side does Joe Gomez play? Is he right or left? Because he could technically, I suppose, play the Maresca fullback role when he tucks in as a centre-back, because he's played both as a fullback for Liverpool and a centre-back. He's never really got his minutes there. I mean, is there value there? It's not very exciting, is it? Just feel like a little bit of, you know, this is what all these clubs must feel when Chelsea sell them their players over the last 2 years. We don't Chelsea rejects. I don't know, man. Maybe if he's cheap and whatever, he's probably a good. I mean, I remember watching Joe Gomez. I'm an England fan. I think Joe Gomez should have featured in the Euros at left back, personally, and he didn't. That's on Southgate. I mean, I also think we should have probably called up Lewis Hall to play there. Would have been good. Even Chilwell. I know Chilwell's not wanted at Chelsea largely for profile reasons, and yes, his form wasn't great, but I still would have called up Chilwell because he was a conventional left back. Anyway, we are not talking about my England woes. look, it's a link. It doesn't mean we're going to sign him, but it's being talked about by reputable people. I feel like it's my duty to say that I've seen it. Joe Gomez is being considered by Chelsea, the defender. We'll watch this space, of course. All right, mate. Let's keep this train on the track. Fabrice Hawkins, journaliste, French journalist, reputable, I guess, followed by a lot of people, breaks a lot of stories before even Ornstein and Romano. He has tweeted this. I'll read the English translation. The PSG staff are considering recruiting a new striker. Of course, their Portuguese striker, Gonzalo Ramos, will be sidelined for several weeks, maybe even more than 3 months, which of course is a third of the season. PSG will need to definitely ensure that they win Ligue 1, of course. And now Mbappe's gone, they need to prove that that's no issue. They can win Liga without him, because he did. And there's a lot. If you look at the form table of certain clubs in the French league that picked up on the latter part of the season, it's no given. And of course, they will always be chasing that elusive Champions League glory that they can't get, funnily enough. When I say funnily enough, I mean it's fun. So of course, on this post on X from Fabrice Hawkins, it's just riddled with Victor Osimhen to PSG. They'll have to go back into him now and pay his wages. There's like a French PSG account saying c'est écrit, which I believe is written, or it's written. And yes, everyone is just talking about Victor Osimhen. So yes, let's quickly talk about that before we speak about Joao Felix. Look, man, he would like to come to Chelsea. I think Chelsea can do a deal with Napoli to sign Osimhen, and even though they won't be a part exchange or a trade deal with Lukaku, it will be because of Lukaku. We get a bit of money, you get a bit of money, like we're talking anyway. The deals will inherently be related. They just will, bro. They will. Even if they're not drawn into the same... Well, the thing is, the same way Joao Felix and Conor Gallagher is intrinsically linked as a transfer in both ways, but they're separate transfers. They're not involved in the same deal. And I think, personally, I'm speculating to a degree here, but because we've seen this so much in what should be swaps or part exchange swaps, they never are. I imagine it's for accounting reasons. I wonder if amortization comes into it or whatever. Not sure entirely, but it would be the same deal with Osimhen and Lukaku. I've said it before, I see a situation where Lukaku does go to Napoli, but we don't necessarily get Osimhen. And my biggest stumbling block for Osimhen is just the wages. The wages are incroyable. They are, massive amounts of money. And unlike Joao Felix, who said, I'll lower my wages so I can come to Chelsea, the recurring theme, certainly from the likes of Fabrizio Romano, he's saying over and over and over, Osimhen will not reduce his salary. He will not. He originally said he won't go for a loan. I don't know if that's still the case, unless maybe if it's a loan with an obligation to buy, so he's going to a new club and he'll stay there. I kind of get that. You want that security and knowledge of where you are. But as things stand, but a loan with an obligation to buy is helpful to some buying clubs because it pushes certain outlays into different accountancy periods. It gives them a year extension before they need to apply that to a certain period. So in some cases it's helpful, and the selling club's happy to do it because they know the player's just going and won't come back. Yes, so if he was willing to show a little bit of wiggle room on his wages, I think he'd be done by now, legit. I do think we'd have signed Osimhen because he wants to come to Chelsea, as a destination. I feel like clearly he wants to earn the P's. That's his thing. He wants to earn the money. Fine, it's a job, I get it. But in terms of a landing spot, I think he sees himself at Chelsea. If there was wiggle room in his wages, I think we just would have signed him by now. So Chelsea are kind of waiting, maybe. And again, I'm speculating here. This isn't a report. Maybe Chelsea are waiting to see if his position changes, because he is not training. Conte came out again recently in the media, possibly even today, saying, yeah, look, I'm not going to talk about Osimhen. He's not training with us. He's not even in my plans. Like whatever. I'm not going to talk about Lukaku because he's a Chelsea player right now. So he did that politician thing, but he doubled down and said, I'm never going to play with Osimhen. He's never part of the plan. So I wonder if Chelsea are just like, all right, mate, Victor, like we'd love you to come here. We'll pay you well, but we can't pay those wages. Let's just see how you feel 2 days before the end of the window. Do you know what I mean? Or maybe he does just accept a loan, like a straight loan, and Napoli pay 30% of his wages. Then we're like, thank you very much, mate. But of course, with this story of Gonzalo Ramos getting injured, I mean, you could just he feels like he's got PSG written all over him, and he speaks French and stuff like that. So yeah. All right then, I'm gonna talk about Felix now and Gallagher. This is a transfer news live, as in the account on X posting this, but he's sourcing a journalist called Ruben Uria, who is a Spanish journalist, it would seem. He does seem to have a big following, 170.5 thousand followers on X, and I'm looking at it now, he's followed by reputable people, it would seem. Wow. He's followed by a couple of aggregators, and Nizar Kinsella follows him, of course, BBC journalist. So, and he's saying this: the negotiations between Atletico Madrid and Chelsea are now in the final stretch for Joao Felix and Conor Gallagher. And just on a side note, I've read multiple stuff that Gallagher is not even training with the development team or the separate team like your Trevoh Chalobahs, your Lukakus, your Kepas. He's not even training with them. Gallagher is training by himself with a trainer at Chelsea. He's not getting anyone tackling him. He's made it clear now, Connor. Yeah, I want to go to. He's been sold to Atletico Madrid, as in like he's sold on it. He wants to go. Of course, Simeone's called him up like, I want you, man, I want you, and he obviously doesn't feel wanted at Chelsea, understandably from how we sort of treated him. So and again, I think it's a wicked transfer for him for a multitude of reasons. I'm not going to go over all those reasons again because I've regurgitated that stuff here on the channel before. It's exciting for an excellent player, a club that suits him well, and playing Champions League football. So he's made his decision. He's not in any form of team training. He's just keeping fit. He's keeping sharp so he can go straight into the Atleti team, and he wants to go. So he wants that there. Anyway, the operation is very close to being agreed, and these are the fees that are being discussed. So Chelsea will receive 42 million euros for Conor Gallagher. I think that's flat. I don't think that's bonuses. I think that's just an agreed fee, which is 38.5 million quid or 30 million quid. All things considered, not selling to a Prem money club, not having to see him at your rivals, having 12 months left on his deal, and everyone knowing that he's not part of your plans. 42 million euros is pretty good going, I'd say. I know many of you would be like, well, it's a crime selling such a player for that money, but you have to look at the market, everything in context, Now, this is the interesting part. Joao Felix, Atletico will receive 50 million euros plus 5 million in bonuses for Joao Felix. So 50 million euros is 42.6 million pounds, and then we don't know what that 5 million bonuses is. That 5 million bonuses could be Chelsea win the Premier League with Felix or the Champions League, and those kind of bonuses, you're sort of like, thank you very much. But then I don't know what the achievable bonuses would have to be. Like, I think maybe like plays when he reaches like 50 games for Chelsea or something there to play that much. I don't know. I'm speculating to a degree here, but I'm hoping those 5 millions are like hard to achieve, but not like we don't want it to become hard. Like, Premier League winners, we'll pay that 5 million bonus for Felix now. But yeah, so the base fee is 50 million euros, which, like I said, is 42 million quid. I must say, like, still, this guy's 24 years old. He's not 25 yet. He's 24 years old. He's still yet to enter his prime. I know he's got his problems not stylistically, but his profile, like his functional problems. Stylistically, he's great. He can score wonder goals. He does flicks and tricks, and he's very intelligent footballer. He's an exciting footballer. Like I said before, he's like 13 million followers on Instagram. I think I used that as an example. Like, this is what you're buying as well. Conor Gallagher's got 1.1 million followers. Joao Felix has got 13 million followers. I know that a lot of people understandably and quite rightly won't want to hear that, but this is the branding and marketability you're buying. He's 24, Joao Felix, 42 million quid for this guy who's played for Atleti, Barcelona, Chelsea before, Benfica, and was a wonder kid. I think that's just a good deal, bro. I think it is a good deal. It's the same money, really, we paid for Cole Palmer. We paid 42 million quid for Cole Palmer or something. And like, I'm not saying he's going to be as good as Cole Palmer, but Cole Palmer was like a City player that played a few games. Joao Felix is like, everyone knows about Joao Felix, you know. And I must say, even though I don't think it's necessarily the most sensible thing, I think it is, like Matt Law wrote in the Telegraph, it's just way too good to turn down. It's way too good to turn down, and it could be bloody wicked. Alright, so let me know what you think, guys. Comment down below. Yeah, leave your thoughts on all the players I've spoken about in the video. Of course, keep it locked because I will be updating you as all stories develop. And I love you very much, so thank you for liking and subscribing. Alright then, bye.